Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to make a quick video of a picture that I've seen that shows Oahu, Maui, and the Big Island from Kauai. A lot of you may say that's not possible, which I would agree with you. It is not possible on a round Earth. But I will show you that this picture was actually taken by a person that lives in Kauai, and give me some information on it. Because a lot of people say that the curvature of the Earth can only be seen over water. You can't do it over land, and so I've said, okay, that's fine. We need to find some evidence over water. So I have found this picture. So anybody can find this picture. All you got to do is search for it on the internet. I just searched in Google Oahu from Kauai. Get a whole bunch of pictures, but I came across this one here, which shows this is Kauai, and it shows Oahu, and it actually shows Maui and the Big Island, which is very interesting. And so what I've done is I've downloaded the picture here, and you can kind of zoom in a little bit here. So, well, let's go back here and show you an email. So I want to make sure this picture was authentic, right? So I sent this guy an email that he posted on his website, and I said, I whited all the names and stuff just for safety, protecting innocent, whatever. It says, D, I have come across your picture of Oahu taken from Kauai, and then looks at the website. I think it's a very cool picture. Can you please tell me the location of this picture that it was taken from? I'd like to get a similar picture someday. I go there. He writes back, hi, blah, blah, blah. It is a rare day when one can see this far. I have tried to see it for years, or I've tried for years to see Kauai from Oahu, from atop Mount Kaala, but never have. The air is clear enough maybe 2, maybe 3 days a year. Usually in the winter, but it was a clear September day in 2005 when I took this one. The location was about 2 miles inland from Lahui, at an elevation around 400 feet above sea level, near the Kilohana crater. The view, left to right, of Oahu, Maui, and the Big Island was a lucky catch. Oahu is around 80 miles, Maui in the middle is about 200 miles, and the Big Island peaks of Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa stick up 3 miles into the air 350 miles away. Best location is actually on the south side, and blah, 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 blah. It's clear enough today to see the other lines, and that's still nice view. Best wishes, blah, blah, blah. So, he sent me an email. This is a real email. It is authentic. That's all I wanted to show there. So he sent me this picture. He didn't send me the picture, right? He authenticated that this picture is a real picture that he took. And so I want to figure out, okay, where he took it from. Should I be able to see what I'm seeing? So I've drawn some lines here on Google Earth that shows how far the distances are here. And he said 80 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles. So I wanted to see that. So if we look at this one, Oahu to Kauai is that line. Okay, and if I say properties, measurements, 93 miles. Somewhere in there. So, okay, close enough. The next one, Maui, over there, is measurements, 220 miles. Okay, pretty close. And then we have the top of the Big Island, which is that one. Okay. And that one is, he says 350 miles. That's not quite. 293 to there. And then the other one to the edge of the island, over here, edge of the Big Island, is measurements of 305 miles. So it's not 350 miles, 305 miles is what we come up with. Well, we come down here and you say, well, is that really where you took the picture from? Well, I think it's pretty fair to say that, yes, that is where he took the picture from. That's where I'm drawing my lines from. It's interesting to see, though, on Google Earth, you know, the lines go with the curve of the Earth. You can't see that. So, but anyway, come down here, and I wanted to see, okay, well, where is this picture really taken from? This is where my best guess is where it was taken from. This is Lahui. He said 2 miles. Okay, maybe it was taken from up here, maybe a little bit further back, and it kind of zoomed in. But in any event, I drew some lines on Google Earth to show different features of the land that would line up and coincide with what we're seeing here, right? So let's come back down here and show you what I've done. So let's come down here and let's look at these red lines again and look at the picture. So if we look at the picture here, and what I've done is I've drawn these red lines on this picture to show different points on Google Earth. So first one you see here, this building here with the square thing on top here. If we go back to the picture, this building right here is this building with the square thing right here. Okay, kind of going up that way. This building here is a round, circular building here with the rest of it. Square thing here, it's round. And then you have, if we zoom in on this a little bit, you see this roof is peaked, 2 peaks. White roof lines up with this circular roof here. And we come back down here and we say, okay, well there's the circular roof right there. And if we follow the line, we see this 2-peaked white roof, which matches what we're seeing here. Okay, so this line matches up, it goes up to that line. And we remember that that goes to Maui. This is Oahu. That goes to the peak of Maui. This one goes to the peak of Loa, Mauna Kea. I can't remember which one's which. It's been a while since I've been there. And then this is the very edge of it. So we come back here, and let's look at this one. This one's a little tougher to really find some points. But I think, so if we look at this building here, kind of coincides with that building there. So my lines might be a little bit off, but they're pretty close. Okay. And then this one here, you can see these buildings down here. When you go to Google Earth, and you come back here, there's no buildings right there. They disappeared. They're gone. But remember, he said he took this picture in 2005. Well, let's see what it looked like in 2005. We come down here and say, 2005, those buildings are there. And so that matches up exactly with what we're seeing right here. And so that line goes through those buildings up to that point. And so we come back here and say, okay, that line, these all kind of coincide, they're all lining up with each other, goes through those buildings, and we zoom all the way out here so we can see it, lines up with the edge there. So I think he is correct. In my opinion, he is correct on what he's saying. He's seeing Oahu, then Maui, kind of in the distance here, then the Big Island. Okay? So, now we say, wow, can you really be able to see that far? Oahu? Maybe. Even on a globe Earth, 90 miles, 80 miles, 70 miles. Okay, maybe, I'll give you, you might be able to see it. But Maui and the Big Island, I don't think you should be able to see it, and here is why. Remember when we came to here and I said this line was 70 miles, 220 miles, 290 miles, and 305 miles. So if we click on this and say, okay, hit 0, now these are all at 0, basically right at sea level. So, but if we come down to 93 miles, I think as it was, that's 5,000 feet. So that Oahu has to be 5,000 feet if you're standing at the shore. I understand you're not standing at the shore, and I'll explain the 400-foot difference here in a minute. But 93 miles, 5,768 feet. If we go to 220 miles to look at the top of this peak here, which is 220 miles away, that should be 32,000 feet tall in order for you to see it. Well, how tall is Maui, that peak? If we come down here, we look down here in this corner, elevation, it's 9,000, it's 96, 98, I'll even say 10,000 feet, 9,800, 10,000 feet. How tall is the Big Island? 12, 13, I don't know if I can hit 14 or not, I think it's 13 and change. 13 and change, 11, 12, okay, 12,000 feet. Remember, this one's 293 miles away. This point over here is 305 miles away. So if we come back down to 290 miles away, it's 56,000 feet high. Remember, it needs to be, that object needs to be 56,000 feet high in order for me to see it. We go 305 miles, 62,000 feet high. Now you say, well, you're higher than sea level. You're looking higher than that. Your observation point you need to take into consideration. I say, okay, I agree with you. We need to. 400 feet. So if my eye height is 400 feet, my target distance is 305 miles, my distance to the horizon is 24 miles, and my target hidden height needs to be 52,000 feet tall. That means if I'm here, I'm 400 feet off sea level, I can see 24 miles out to the ocean, and everything beyond that starts to fall off. And this object here needs to be 52,000 feet tall in order for me to see it. Well, this island is not 52,000 feet tall, and in fact, this over here is certainly not 52,000 feet tall. It's 700, 600, 5,000, up to 12,000, 13,000 feet. So, in my opinion, if you look at this, you see these red lines going from the places I showed, there's no way that I'm seeing a curve here. There's no way I'm seeing a curve in 300 miles. I shouldn't be able to see that. That should be 52,000, 60,000 feet below the curve of the Earth. Let's go back to even the other one was saying, now I said, well, some people say, well, maybe he was higher than that. Maybe where he was taking the picture from wasn't exactly in this spot. You know, we need to take into account maybe he didn't know what the elevation was. Okay, let's say he took his camera and he had kind of a zoom lens on it. He was up here in the mountains somewhere. 3,000, 4,000. Oh, I saw 5,000. There's 5,000. Let's say he was standing on the peak of that mountain, the peak of Kauai, 5,000 feet tall, and he kind of had a zoom lens, and so he could get these to line up right. Let's say that he was 5,000 feet up. 5,000 feet up at 305 miles is still horizon at 86 miles and a target hidden height of 31,000 feet. 31,000 feet. 31,000 feet below the curve. Remember, that is only 13,000 feet tall. And over here on the side, you're talking a couple hundred feet tall. Maybe even 3,000 feet. There's just no way that should be able to be seen. Oahu, Maui, the Big Island. Here's your horizon line, I guess, what you want to call it. But I just want to call it, yeah, that's as far as you can see. But you can see, how can we see the Big Island? It's only 13,000 feet tall. And even if I'm standing on top of the mountain at 5,000 feet, it still should be, I don't know, what's that, 17,000 feet below the curve of the Earth. I understand a lot of people say looming, light bending, refraction, all that kind of fun stuff. Hey, maybe that has something to do with it, but I really don't believe you can see that much further past. I'll even say double. You can see double. You can 86 to 180 miles, 100 miles further, but you're talking 305 miles to this point. You don't believe me? Go look it up yourself. Go do the calculations. Go draw your lines. Look at the pictures. I'm telling you, very fishy to me. Remember, look at the buildings and look behind them. They all line up. Do some testing for yourself, but I think this is a pretty good proof that at least from here to here is flat, and that's 300 miles, which there should be a 60,000 foot drop from there to there, and we don't see one. Anyway, have fun. Good night. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.